It's Aneesa Getaneh. They was doubting by my calling, now they peeping away.
Hey guys, welcome to the Pretty and Profitable podcast. Today's principle, we're going to talk about the principle provide. And you guys know I've been sending you through this series of principles, and I'm bringing on women that embody these principles. So today, I'm actually bringing to you guys, it's like a special treat for me. And it's really my opportunity to give her flowers. She is my very first mentor, Miss Anita Johnson. Hey. I'm so Arnita. You know I had to make sure you got here. I was like, let me who got her number?
Anything for you.
Yes. So I just want to thank you first of all for being the example for Black women. I mean, I remember being on Instagram and I didn't really connect with a lot of people, but when I heard your story and I kind of just followed your journey, when I jumped into your journey, it was truly inspirational. And so I've seen like some others, but I jumped in at a time where you were scaling your credit business. And I think just launching, it wasn't even, you didn't even have the planner yet, right? But
Right.
just really not the one that you have now, but just to see the transparency, the transformation, the journey, the ups, the downs, just all of that has been such an inspiration for me and has allowed me to grow as a woman within my space and really own, my thing. So I just first want to give you your flowers because I
Thank
think
you.
that you are you are an anomaly in so many ways, right? Having obstacles, a lot of different things and a lot of reasons why you couldn't do something. And you have shown and kind of canceled out all of the things that women create, these excuses or whatever, to say I can't do it. And so you really embody, I would say, all of Proverbs 31. Like that's you. But I really want to specifically talk about how when I thought about you, the very first thing that came to my mind was that you're a provider. You have, taken care of your mom. Many of people, right, have opened up the doors for many people. And another thing that I want to just mention too is that you haven't always been treated well within the process of opening up doors for people, but you keep going anyway. And so I just want to give you your flowers. I love you. I want to say it publicly. I love this woman. And you know, I was in a group where it wasn't that we weren't, it wasn't really where she was being treated well. And so to see you overcoming, to see you continue to go and empower women and just keep being that example, I just love you for that. So
Thank you. I needed
thank
those
you.
kind words. I'm just so excited to be here. I'm honored to even have witnessed your growth, like to see who you are and where you are today, and that you continue to walk in that. And I'm just, again, extremely proud of you. And there's just no place I would rather be than right here with you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. So, there's so much that I want to ask you, but I have to keep it short. Um, but there's been a lot of things that's going on with you. So I want to I want you to talk about later, like all the new things that are happening, all the old things that are gone, and all of that. But I want to first ask you, what led you to become a credit expert?
Oh, wow. I mean, can you believe that it'll be 17 years in January that
My
I've been
God.
doing this? 17 years that I have been an entrepreneur, credit expert. And it honestly started with the simple fact that I was denied a job because I could
Mm,
not pass a credit check. And from there, I just became just excited about it, a nerd about it, a geek about it.
mhm,
And I just wanted to know about how credit works. And then I realized that, wow, the average person does not know this. And I was a single mom on Section 8 food
mhm,
stamps. And I'm like, listen, I do not want to be a product of my environment anymore. I no longer want to be a product of my circumstances. If I want to make a change, it's really going to start with me and my
mhm,
credit and my money. And I literally just created the business to help others, family and
mhm,
friends. And it
mhm.
literally just blew up word of mouth, social media, and I just turned the side hustle into something much more serious. And then it just
Man,
ended up growing into a multi-million-dollar powerhouse.
girl. One of the things that I remember, like when I first got started with credit, I knew about credit, and there was a person that tried to introduce me to credit. They would claim that they taught me credit, but there was one thing that you said on your live years ago where you were teaching the difference between verifying and validating. Just
Mhm.
something that simple. Like, I just remember you going into the legalities of credit, how to do it properly. Like, I would say that you were the person online that had pressed the concept of integrity. And that was one of the reasons why I flew to Dallas. Like, I could have just kept looking at your live,
Right.
but I'm from coming from LA, and flying to Dallas, I didn't have enough money for the rental car, for a hotel. I just made it work. But I flew to you because I wanted to see you in person, and I wanted to learn everything that you were teaching. And so I would say that that laid the foundation for me to understand credit at the level
Yes.
that I do. But that's one of the things that I feel like your way and you foundationally teaching about credit, I believe is and all the things that you have going on right now is the harvest. Like, you're reaping the harvest of being a woman of integrity. And I just think that, and staying that course, because there's been a lot of different courses
Yes.
and
Yes.
courses
Yes.
and
Yes.
courses, right? But staying true to that, even with the transitions, your message is still the same, but your brand is just evolving and getting more luxurious and, all of that, right? But I would just say that that was one of the things that I really gravitated towards you. And I knew that learning from your teaching that I was doing the right thing. So I didn't have to question
Appreciate
it. It's like,
Yes.
okay, is this right? So
Yes.
just being a woman of integrity is just been amazing to watch again.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So, how do you think people can use credit to provide for themselves and those around them
Oh,
in
wow.
this time? In this time.
Yes. I
Yes.
think it's very important to know that credit is generational. Like
Mm,
credit, your name will hit the door before you do. Your credit will walk
mhm,
into doors or allow you access to leverage and opportunities
mm,
that you never saw possible. Um,
mhm,
Credit can also help you in situations to where you may not have capital or cash. You
mhm,
never know when you may need it. The purpose of credit solely is to have it and not need it, than to need it and not have it.
mhm,
And people just don't know how credit works, especially with
mhm,
us in the Black community, and how we can use it, in my opinion, in today's time,
mhm.
especially right now, being in a recession, dealing with inflation, dealing with AI taking jobs. It's extremely important to use your credit to create another revenue stream for you,
To
whether it is
create.
supplementing income, whether it's creating a side hustle. I'm the side
Mhm,
hustle queen. In fact, almost every business that I have started as a side hustle. Even with my
mhm.
credit consulting agency, even with the luxurious lifestyle planner, like the luxurious lifestyle planner was really a side hustle.
Yeah.
Really, everything that I've created.
With the hair.
And my hair, yeah, buying my hair extension business, like I am like the epitome of a serial entrepreneur.
Yes.
But
Yes.
literally, yes, I actually use my credit to purchase a vitamin brand and a
Mhm.
hair extension brand.
Yes.
So learning not having to use my own capital. I recently went through a divorce and was
Mhm.
able to use my credit to leverage a lot of things that my cash just wouldn't even allow me to. Like they didn't care
Yeah.
when I was trying to find an apartment. They didn't care how
Mhm.
much money I made. They wanted
Mhm.
to run my credit to ensure that I would be able to pay them on time.
Right.
So it's
Right.
just important that in these day and time that we cannot play around with our credit. Oh, I also want to add, like using $88,000 worth of credit to heal myself from
Ooh.
stage breast cancer. Like if I didn't have the credit, like
Yes.
there's no telling, where I would be or how I would be able to pay for treatment. So
Yeah.
literally at this point in time, credit is a necessity. Like it's a
Yes.
lifeline. It's a lifestyle. Like you just can't afford to be without it.
Yes. So, you just mentioned the divorce. Okay? I know. What would you tell? So, knowing about credit, I talk about the profitable Proverbs 31 woman and how she is valuable whether she's
Yes.
married. whether she
Yeah.
has children, she is
Yeah.
valuable just by herself, right?
Yes.
And that having a husband and children are just accessories, kind of like
Absolutely.
earrings,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But what would you going through that, because I've gone through a divorce. Actually, I think that's when I came in, and I was going finishing the
Mhm.
divorce when I came
Mhm.
through
I
your
remember that.
mentorship. Um, but what would you say to the old Arnita about her finances, about the financial moves that you made, and what are things that you can tell women to protect themselves in the future when you are in a union? And not to be on guard, but just from the
Mhm.
experience that you
Oh,
had,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
what would you tell the old Arnita? Like, what
Oh,
would
yeah.
you today tell her? And then what are things that women can do now to still, build? Because you were an amazing wife.
Yes.
Just from
Yes.
listen, right? So we're not talking about nothing else but you just being an amazing wife. But
Mhm.
what would you tell the women to, still be in your relationships, don't be on guard, but what are ways to protect yourself as a woman that is building her credit, that's pretty on paper, and how to do that
Yes.
within a relationship or even after?
Yes. You are not pretty on paper without a prenup. Period. You're not.
Wait
You're
a
not
minute.
pretty on paper without a prenup. I'm sorry.
God,
No one.
Arnita.
You're not. Okay. I
Woo!
I wasn't. Okay. And I
Lord
have
have
to
mercy.
deal with that. Do you want the truth or you want me to
I want you
sugarcoat
to
it?
tell you always gonna get the truth, but yes.
Yes.
Mm,
No one marries to get divorced.
no.
No one thinks that when they get married that they could ever see a divorce. And I
Mhm.
had a prenup. I had a prenup. And one of the dumbest things I could have ever did was handed my prenup to my ex-husband because he was just way more, so I thought, responsible with holding on to things. But again, I didn't think to myself, okay, Dud, you're gonna need this prenup in the event it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So first things first is definitely a prenup. The second thing is to put everything in your trust on nothing. Have a trust. Put everything in your trust. Have whole life insurance, not
I
term.
remember you saying this one. The whole life, you've
You
been
need
saying that
whole
for
life
thank
insurance.
you. Yes.
You can borrow cash value from that will also build cash value. And let me add this,
Mm.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with term. You do need insurance, okay?
Yes.
But once you
Yes.
start making a certain amount of money,
Yes.
it's important to have whole life. Now,
Yes.
when I was setting that up, I didn't understand the principles behind it, but going through that divorce, I understood
Mhm.
why it was so
Yes.
important. The
Yes.
next thing is the person you marry is not the person you divorce. They're going to become a totally different person. Or maybe the person that they always were is going to seep out during that time, especially
Yes.
ladies. If you are the breadwinner and if you are the sole provider, you have to understand that you are now
Mm.
providing a lifestyle. It doesn't matter how much income, because it to me, I just feel like, oh, we're married, everything
Yes.
goes into the same pot. Your money is my money, no matter that I make exceptionally more than you, it's
Yes.
all going into the same household.
Mhm.
But there's a difference between being the breadwinner and
Mhm.
the sole provider. And it's important to understand that the
Oh
breadwinner
my God.
is just someone who makes the most money. Okay.
Yes.
But the sole provider is someone that if they were to leave the household, it would be detrimental to it. So I was a sole provider, which meant
Mm.
that by me leaving the household, it would have been detrimental to it. Although I left the household and I left with my kids,
Yes.
I was still responsible for the household that he was still staying in. I still had to pay all the bills there. I could not turn off any utilities. I had to pay spousal support. I had to pay a very large settlement. And he
Mm.
also got to take everything outside of the home. So
You
I
can have that.
gave him every house. I came home, like, you remember Will Smith when he came home on Fresh Prince and nobody was
Right.
in? Like,
Right.
that's what I came home to. But it's also important to know for us women that paying for peace is priceless. All right. So
Oh
you
my
can
God.
always rebuild. You can always
Yes.
rebuild.
Yes.
But learn from me and take heed from me to
Hmm.
set things up in such a way that you don't have to deal with that. So I get some women who
Yes.
say, "Oh, I just wouldn't do a prenup." Okay, but we also insure our vehicles, and we don't
Right.
think that we're going to have a car wreck.
Accident.
We insure
Right.
our phones, and we don't think that our phones are going to break or malfunction. So understanding that a marriage is a business, you need a
Yes.
contract, you need a license to get in, and you need a judge to get out.
To get out. Ooh, you just broke down. You said breadwinner, sole provider. E- I
I didn't know
never,
that.
I, I never thought about that. Okay.
I learned the hard way.
So everything in a trust, life insurance, prenup. You're not pretty on paper if you don't have a prenup.
No,
Mm,
you're just
I
throwing away
think
money.
so with the old Arnita and the new Arnita, I'll just tell you what I see because I actually was telling Coriel this. I said I love the new Arnita. Like I remember like it was like now you like, baby, I'm soft. I'm listen. I ain't trying to, and so um I see a blessing in all in the storm, right?
Yes,
It's some
yes,
messages that we just don't get
yes,
until it's gotten.
yes, yes,
And I love this new Arnita. I love the soft, the super luxurious because you was already luxurious, right?
hmm,
But the you had the penthouse for a second. You was able to live out
yes,
your
yes,
dream, right?
yes,
And look, you see, I'm following you along this journey. So imagine the people that have never met you or never gone through never gone through any coaching with you, like, you know what I mean?
yes,
Let me
yes.
just say this side note too. I did not realize that I was paying you for a coaching program. I just was like, whatever she's doing, I'm going to pay for it. I didn't realize it was like I didn't realize it. I was like so oblivious. I was like, okay. And my husband was like, that's a car note. I think it was like three something we had to pay him. It was something, but it's so crazy because that is such a small, like me doing that then is like not even a big deal now.
Yes,
But I had to
yes,
do it. But
yes,
even
yes,
every month you position me to make money to pay that
yes,
anyway. But
yes.
just girl, listen.
Yes, and I
Okay.
want to also tell the ladies because I don't ever want. I think it's very important for us women to be pretty, paid, profitable, prosperous, and at peace. And
Oof.
literally, when you have someone in your life that is driving you to be soft and feminine and taking that masculinity away from you,
Mm.
it is something that I would go through over and over with that situation
Hmm.
to be here right now to like comfortably put myself in a place to make money and having a partner that
Mm.
allows you to do that. So I
Yes.
just also feel like sometimes with us black women, we feel like we can only be paid, but we can't have a partner. And if we
Right.
have a partner, it has to be the struggle of, and I'm telling you, this is the softest. I'm 41. I will be 42
You
in
look
2 weeks.
great, boo.
Thank you. This is the softest I have ever been in my life. And I know
Yes.
that I cannot thank that, or I know I owe that to my amazing God that I have now, and just this amazing experience, and just going in it with bliss and making money and being comfortable
Yes.
and just not, I could just be myself. And I just
Yes.
never knew how important that was. Like,
Yeah.
you know how it is. Like, you start making money, people start thinking a certain way about you, like they see the glory, but not the story.
Hmm.
And like you said, like I have taken a lot of public hits for being incredible, having integrity and trying to do things the right way.
Oh, I know.
And it can be a lot on you and then have to deal
Hmm.
with a lot of that inside of the household. So to be able to share that with you all, if I can share the bad, I can share the good. And I'm just always going to be, I'm not ashamed of my story or my journey. I'm going to always be transparent. And I'm just blessed to be able to have a platform with people like you that allow me to share me and be me. So thank you again, because it would not have even happened without amazing women like you.
Girl, no, I'm following after you. Like, and I'm okay. Like, we have to be okay with saying that someone inspired us.
Yes.
Someone inspired me. Like Arnita, well, she's my mentor. That was my mentor, and so we have to be okay with that and then learn how to build your own thing, not copy paste.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Not copy paste, Arnita. Build your own thing,
Absolutely.
you know?
Because God cannot bless who you're pretending to be.
No, absolutely not. And you can't really pretend to be anybody. You're only putting a shell of what you think it
Absolutely.
is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Whew.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I asked that, so we can go back. Um, here's another marriage question.
Whoa.
With your knowledge now, do you feel it's important to marry up? And what is your criteria now?
Okay. So do the ladies want me to be realistic? Okay.
Yes.
I can only speak for myself. All right.
Okay.
And I have to be very, very honest. I
Mhm.
know now I love my black men. I love my black kings. I will always be with a black man.
Mhm.
Extra chocolate preferred.
Extra.
But I know that realistically, I make more than not just the average man, black
Mhm.
man, but the average person.
Mhm.
So the pickings realistically would be very, very slim to none if I said I want to marry up, knowing that I'm a seven-figure earner and
Mhm.
knowing the statistics. All right.
Mhm.
I also want to add that even during, this journey of being single, I have come across a lot of men who made money. All right. Seven-figure earners, football players, you name it. I was
Yeah.
outside for a little bit.
She was
And
outside.
I was outside. And when I tell you, I thought I was going to be outside a lot longer, but honey, he went and broke back in the house quick. He was like, nope. But what I learned was that um, if the only thing a man can offer you is money, he's broke.
Oh, I'm so glad that you said that. I'm so glad that you said that. Go ahead.
I need to be taken care of
Exactly.
emotionally,
Mhm.
spiritually. I love a praying man.
Mhm.
Like, I'm telling you, you get with a man and you ask him to lead you in prayer, and trust me, if he ain't right, he gonna start malfunctioning, glitching, lagging. He gonna start looking all pixelated. Ask him to pray for you. Ask him to lead in prayer. You go out on that date and you hold your hand out and say, "Okay, let's bow,
Mhm.
say grace."
Mhm.
And if he
Yes.
cannot lead in that, he can't do nothing for me. Like, my God is all up and through here. And if he
Yes.
can't come into that, I
Yes.
can't deal with that. My whole thing is
Mhm.
this. I'm not about like the potential thing, like, oh, I'm dating a man
Yeah.
for his potential. He
Mm-mm.
definitely has to have something going for himself.
Yeah.
But if he gonna be with me, it ain't nothing but up anyway.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. Like, we're a team.
Mhm.
So in my world,
Mhm.
the only thing that I would consider like, well, would consider would be like dating down would be someone who lacks integrity, who
Mhm.
lacks morals, who has no character, who has no
Yes.
spirit, who has no future, who has no goals. Like,
Yes.
to me, that is what dating down is. But if he
Ooh.
has aspirations, if he has goals, if
Mhm.
he's loving on me and he's treating me and my babies right, sir, what kind of ideas you got? 'Cause my
Right.
whole
What we got?
because my thing is this: I help women and
Yeah.
men
Yeah.
make money every single day. Why
Mhm.
would it stop with my man?
Right.
Like, no, like, that's crazy to me. I just feel like social media and society, especially when it comes to black women, oh, okay, well, I need a man that's gonna be tall, dark, handsome, make six figures. Sis, somewhere in there, somebody, one of us, it wasn't me, but somebody's soulmate is gonna be ugly. Okay, we just gonna have to deal with it. We all can't be out here
You're gonna have to
chasing.
accept it,
You
baby.
might have to take something. All
Yes.
right. I'm glad I didn't have to
Right.
this go around. But I will say, like, I'm a big hitter, but I will say that in my opinion, when it comes to dating up and
Yeah.
down, it really is like from an inner thing
Yes.
for me. Because I make money
I
in my
agree.
sleep. Like money is money. And I'm pretty sure that you can agree. Because I know for the both of us at one point in time, we didn't have money and all we thought about was money. But once you
Money.
start making money and you're accessible to money, it's like, okay, well, that ain't nothing.
What's
Like,
next?
I just want to
Mhm.
serve at this
Exactly.
point. So if I have a
Exactly.
praying partner that's providing at the level that he
Mhm.
can, or he gonna, it's nothing but up with me. So
I'm so glad that you said that. Because when I got divorced and I remarried, I didn't plan on remarrying at all. Like I was like, I'm gonna wait 5 years. I met my husband a year after I got divorced. A year. And one of the things, girl, listen, I feel like this. I feel like a good woman is not single long. That's
ooh,
my opinion. You people say, it might be a strong opinion, but it's definitely difficult for a good woman to be single for a
yes,
long time.
yes,
Unless she just
yes.
is like, I don't want to, but
Listen, Anessa, let me time out here because when I was going through my divorce and I started to date again, because mind you, this is something else I want to add to women or people, because a lot of times people will look at it and say, oh, why are you dating so fast? Please understand that a lot of us have
girl, I'm
mentally and
shooting them off.
emotionally, listen, please know that a lot of us left that marriage years, okay, before
Come
we actually
on.
filed. All right. And you know what's so crazy? That I have asked women and men like who have been through a divorce, when did you know that you should have left? And do you know? I'm gonna ask you first. When did you know you should have left?
The first year.
Do you know most people that I have asked that to said year two? And it was year two for me too. It was year two. That I was like, what are you doing here? But you get those morals. You think that they can
My
change. You think
kids.
that your kids, you know what my thing was?
Mm.
Religion. I thought that I would go to heaven.
Girl, let me tell you something. I thought that I was going to be cursed if I got
Yes.
divorced.
Yep. Yep. I did too.
I was like,
I
oh my
did
God,
too.
God's not going to bless me anymore. Let me just,
Yes. That was the most see, I thought I was alone in this.
no,
I stayed
man.
in that marriage longer than I should have because I thought that I was going to be punished. I really did. And I thought that I was going to go to hell.
Because
If
God hates divorce.
Yes, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So when
Mm.
I left, finally, and mind you, I moved out of my own home. I just said,
Oh.
hey, I can't do it. I have to leave to just gain my sanity and just,
Hmm.
just to keep things like copacetic. I have to
Hmm.
leave. And I was like, man, just like you, I'm not ready to get into nothing serious. I'm just trying to
I was,
make
oh,
money and date. And I never came across a guy who just wanted to play. They were all trying to date me intentionally. And I'm like, okay, I got 4 kids. Okay, I don't
Arnita,
care about
do you
that.
know when I
Like,
got divorced, he said,
man,
no one's going to want you with 3 kids.
that's the same thing that was said to me. Girl, I jumped. Listen, I don't know what the ladies are talking about the
I
pool.
don't understand it. It's
I don't,
not,
I didn't come across
listen,
that at all.
men say I don't want to marry a woman with kids, but my husband didn't have any kids when I married him.
Mm,
He didn't, I mean, he had options. And I think what happens, this is what I think what happens with women that are good wives, because even up into the divorce, I was honoring God. I
mm-hmm,
didn't change nothing up. I just was like, Lord, get me out of this. But I feel like women that were good wives that get divorced, even if you make the decision to leave, there are
mm-hmm.
some lessons, some
Yes,
invaluable lessons that you
yes,
learn about becoming a
yes,
woman of value that I
yes.
think men know and see. You have women that haven't experienced marriage yet, so they're just kind of like, I just want a wedding, not a marriage. I want a wedding. But then if you have a woman that's been married and she gets divorced, she's a good wife, and then
Yes,
she is out there in the world, I think
yes,
that
yes,
something about that first marriage has built something in you where you become a woman of value. You
I
just
agree.
bring so much to the table.
I agree. I
So
agree.
it makes dating easy.
Easy. Like,
Options.
oh, it was kind of hard for me because I'm like, listen, I want to be single. I want to be casual. And they were like, nope.
Yes.
You either date me intentionally or no. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I mean, great
Right.
quality men, great
Yes.
value of men. I'm not saying great
Yes.
value like Walmart, honey. I'm saying like men that was like, woo. I,
Right.
it was like the
Right.
1995 Dream Team. I'm talking about Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson, John Stark,
Charles Barkley,
baby,
whatever
Michael Jordan. Like I was like, the roster is rostering.
it's rostering.
And
Okay.
it's just that one comes along, and I really want to say this, like literally a couple of months ago, me and my cousin was like describing like my dream guy, like the next
Mm-hmm.
guy I would like him to be
Mm-hmm.
this and that. And I kid you not, I was like tall, dark, you know, generous,
Yes.
and just all no, I didn't say generous. I said tall, dark, handsome, nice, God leading, all of these
Okay.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend was like, and he has to be generous because you are such a generous
You are. You
person.
are. You
He
are.
has to reciprocate that. And I am. I'm a natural giver. I
Yes.
love doing that. And
Yes.
I kid you not, 2 weeks later,
Boom.
and it has been. Listen, it takes a lot to get me off the streets. It takes a lot to get me off the streets. It takes a lot to bring out the soft girl in me. It takes
I
a
see
lot
it.
to turn off the thought leader in me. So to be with somebody and just be led and not
Yes.
think and be
Yes.
like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just this soft girl. That I just
And I see it.
man, I be
I love it.
cooking, Anessa.
Who got you in there cooking?
Ain't cooked for that other man in years. I can count on my hands how many
Wow.
times I cooked.
You in there making the sauce from scratch, huh?
Listen, like, babe, what would you like for
Wow.
dinner? I mean, eating at the table, like that was
Yeah.
something that didn't happen before.
Yeah.
Listen, you can be pretty and profitable and paid and peaceful and loved on and
Yes.
just all of those things. And
Yes.
we deserve that. Like,
Yes.
never ever again will I
Yeah.
ever do struggle anything. Because that's not what God designed for
No.
me.
No.
It's not. And I live such
No.
a hard life. I'm like, God, I'm tired of living Tubi movies. Please bring me Hallmark.
Yes.
And he was like, as you wish. And
Listen, Arnita, this is like I want women to see this because I think the scripture talks about not getting tired of doing good, right?
yes,
Right? And so what we're looking at right now is the harvest of seeds you planted
yes,
a long time ago, right?
yes.
Like you being a provider, you being a woman that took care of her mom, retired her mom, taking care of your children, you
My
know,
dad until he
taking care
died.
of your dad, right?
Yes,
Taking care of your dad. I mean, all of that and going through all of these trials and tribulations, what we're looking at is the harvest of a woman that has been providing, that has taken care, and now she's able to reap,
yes,
from the so there's a scripture in Amos. I think it's Amos 9:13. I don't have it verbatim, but it's a scripture that shows it talks about reaping and sowing at the same time. It
yes,
says that you will plant grapes and drink wine. Like, so that's when I hear you talking, I see you still planting new seeds in your new business. It's not even a new business, it's like a rebrand, right? But
yes,
you're also drinking wine. You're reaping and sowing. And I
yes,
think this is the essence of a woman, the Proverbs 31 woman that
yes,
is a provider. But
yes,
you have to be a woman of value to
yes,
provide.
yes,
You have to bring something to the table,
yes, absolutely,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
So I love that. I love everything that is happening for you. And I'll say this too. I'm gonna go back to our when I was in your coaching program. I was too um not even aware. I remember you setting boundaries in your coaching program. And I remember I didn't understand it. I used to be like, why? What? You know, And I want to just say that in order for you to be a woman of value, in order for you to elevate in the spaces of providing, you have to set clear
Yes.
boundaries. You can't
Yes.
have people, everyone cannot have access to you. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
when I remember getting to a point where I had all these clients and I literally snapped back and I was like, oh, this is what she was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you
Mm-hmm.
can let people drag you down, or you can really see your value and then you
Yes.
start creating these new
Yes.
boundaries so that you
Yes.
can go to new
Yes.
heights. And so,
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to set those boundaries.
yeah.
And one thing I also had to learn was I still had a poverty mindset, even though I was a seven-figure earner. I
Yeah.
was still feeling like I didn't deserve certain things,
Mm.
or I started to feel like, or I didn't want anybody to think, oh, because I'm here and they may not be there as of yet, I don't want
Let
them
me
to think.
coddle you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I remembered going to therapy behind that, and he said
Mhm.
there is a difference between ordinary and extraordinary, and you are an extraordinary person that does not do ordinary things. So you have to be able to be okay with not humbling yourself, because you only humble yourself to God. But I was always being
Exactly.
told to humble myself. So
By the
I
wrong
thought
people.
he was
By the
like,
wrong
"No,
people.
you only humble yourself to God. You don't humble yourself to man."
He
Like,
says, humble yourself before the Lord and he will lift you up.
thank you. So I had to learn that. And it's like
Yeah.
my thing is I'm always wanting people to live a better life. Like I literally
Mhm.
wake up every day sometimes I'm like, God, am I dreaming? Like, is this real? Like I
Mhm.
really have acquired the life that
Yes.
I've desired.
Yes.
Show
Yes.
me how to teach your people how to do the
Yes.
same. But unfortunately, like I can teach it, but I can't make people apply it.
No.
And that was something that I struggled with too, because I'm like, well, I did it.
Mhm.
I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. My elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. So if I can do it, why can't they do it?
Yeah.
And it was really God telling me, like, listen, your job is to serve.
Yes.
Like it is up to them to be.
Yes. Yes, Arnita. I was just talking about that. And I was just talking about the whole idea of, moving away from coaching in that you are a commander, being a commander in your
Yes.
space. But
Yes.
when you're teaching people, you have to teach people that are ready
Thank
and
you.
people that want it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Everything else,
Yes.
they just on the
Yes.
sidelines and they're
Yes.
watching and they're the most critical because they don't
Yes.
even know.
Correct. And also understanding that the price is the price. And to be honest, I would never like if I really, really charged my worth, no one could afford it.
You couldn't afford it.
You couldn't afford it.
Couldn't afford it.
So I have to price it at a place to where it makes sense
Mm-hmm.
and to where
And
you
it
can
makes
understand the value. But it's
yes.
like we live in such an instant gratification. I mean, it's just the craziest thing. But it's like, God, I still got to lead the way you tell me to. I still have to walk into
Exactly.
alignment with the assignment that you have ordained on my life. And I can only lead those who are willing to follow because even I myself is still a student. And
Yes.
it's okay.
We're always going to be a student.
Always.
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 Arnita, we don't have enough time, but I'm so happy that I was able to get you on here.
Thank you for
Pretty
having
unprofitable
me.
podcast. So there's another segment that I ask every lady. It's a pretty on paper segment where I ask each lady one beauty secret. So I want to know, what is your one beauty secret that you want to share with the ladies?
Magnesium, a mineral. Make sure you have your minerals, your psyllium, your chromium, your zinc, your green tea. Like heal the body from
Inside
within.
out.
Yes, like your health is truly your wealth, but get some good
Mhm.
vitamin D, walk outside, but magnesium will change your life. So that's one of my biggest beauty tips.
Do you have some magnesium for sale?
Well, Frank, I have I'm definitely revamping my vitamin line
Oh, nice.
and
Okay.
am going to start out with minerals because when I had
Nice.
cancer a couple of years ago and they were like, you're mineral deficient. I'm
I
like,
didn't know
vitamin?
what that meant.
And they were
Yeah.
like, no, mineral.
Mineral. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So changed my life. Like,
Yes.
my story, healed breast
Mm-hmm.
cancer, no radiation,
Mm-hmm.
no chemo,
Mm-hmm.
no surgery, no Western medicine whatsoever. All natural, all holy, all holistic, all God.
Man. Amen.
Yes. Thank you
You
again
are
for
you are the provider. You are the profitable Proverbs 31 woman. I just want to thank you for coming. You were like the one on the wish list, like with a star on it. I need her. So, okay, tell everybody where they can find you and then also tell them like what you're doing right now so that they can get connected with you.
Yay! So you can find me at Hello Arnita, Arnita, on Instagram. And I am creating a lunch trip plan. Of course, should I say I have created it, and I
Yes.
have helped over 300 women create and launch their planners. Ta-ta. So my next course will be starting in September. So if you are
Nice.
interested, feel free to go ahead and follow me on Instagram and click the link in my bio and get on my wait list.
Thank you so much, Arnita. I'll be on your lives, girl. And if you guys like, okay, so first I want to talk about what we just talked about. We just talked about Anita Johnson, who is the essence, the embodiment of a provider. She talked about the difference between being a sole provider and the breadwinner. And she talked about ways that women can protect themselves when you start to make those six figures, whether you're the breadwinner or you're the sole provider. And then also just the reaping of the harvest of being a woman that is constantly pouring into other people. So if you guys want more, if you liked it, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay in contact and connected with us by clicking the link below.
It's Aneesa Getaneh. They was doubting by my calling, now they peeping the way.